My dad gifted me this insane mansion, but it was way too boughy for my cool, artsy college dude persona. So, after visiting once, I just let it sit there, gathering dust. Then, a month later, this freshman shows up at my club, claims the mansion's his, and that his dad's a freaking billionaire. Looking at this short, pimply dude, I was seriously questioning reality. I'm the president of the art club at my university. Art's about talent, not cash, so I've never let on that my dad's basically loaded. I was perfectly happy rocking my low-key vibe, scoring dates with my adorable girlfriend, and being the chill artsy guy on campus. Then, bam! This pimply freshman waltzes into club, all surrounded by a gaggle of people. He announces, "My dad's a billionaire." My first thought? Did the Forbes list just get a major shakeup? Then he whips out his phone, showing a picture of my dad, Robert Sterling, next to his own face, all cheesy grin, and says, "Spitting image, right?" I was so taken aback, I had to call my dad to ask if he'd somehow fathered a secret love child. My dad swore on the lives of our ancestors that I was his only kid. Only then did I start believing him. "Your dad is Robert Sterling?" I asked the kid, skeptical as hell. "Yep, that's my pops. I'm his only son, Ben Sterling." This guy had serious audacity. My blood was starting to boil. Does my dad even know this dude exists? But I wasn't about to call him out just yet. I wanted to see what his whole charade was all about. "Jake, let Ben join the club, man. He says we can hit up his mansion for a barbecue this weekend." Our club treasurer, Kevin, was all excited. "Sure, hand over your student ID," I told Ben, holding out my hand. Ben hesitated, but eventually he gave it up. I flipped it open, saw that his hometown was listed as Oak Haven, Ta. I frowned. "Isn't Robert Sterling based in Los Angeles? How's your hometown Oak Haven?" Ben was quick on his feet, no sweat on his brow. "Yeah, our family's roots are in Oak Haven, we just happen to live in Los Angeles now." Oak Haven? My family's been based in Los Angeles since forever. He's clearly betting no one's gonna check his BS. My dad keeps a super low profile, always has, and this joker was using that to his advantage. "You said you'd take us to your mansion for a barbecue this weekend?" I asked while entering his info. Ben's eyes had a flash of pride. "Yeah, my dad bought me this sick pad near campus, called the Summit House. It's for when I wanna chill close to school." A bad feeling hit me. Was he talking about my mansion? It was the one my dad had bought me a month ago, that I went to check out, but found too massive, too extra, not my style, and left sitting empty. How did it suddenly become his? The club members were buzzing around Ben like bees. "A billionaire's mansion. Can I come?" "Dude, count me in." Ben was eating it up, all smiles. The more the merrier. I snorted inside. The mansion has a facial and fingerprint recognition system. My info was the only one registered. I couldn't wait to see how Ben would explain that. My girlfriend, Sarah, wanted to grab lunch in the cafeteria. Sarah's a student council type, not a trust fund kid, but super smart and driven, and she's totally into me. We've been together 2 years, and I was planning on finally revealing my secret life and introducing her to the family. "Hey, you know Robert Sterling's kid?" She took a bite of her salad and looked at me, surprised. "You mean that freshman, Ben Sterling?" I choked on my water. Sarah patted my back, all worried. "You still eat like a kid, Jake?" Even Sarah had bought into the fake hype. This was getting out of hand. I realized I needed to get rid of Ben, but without revealing my true identity. "Yeah, that Ben Sterling," I said. "Haven't met him, don't know him." I figured she wouldn't, since she's usually with me. I let it drop. Sarah had a meeting and took off. I sat there slowly finishing lunch, when Ben suddenly sat down across from me. "Jake, so Sarah's your girlfriend, huh?" Ben said, all smug. "I've got my eye on her, bro. Just step aside, name your price." My entire life I've been taught not to brag. But here's this poser, acting like he owns the world. I gave a tight smile. What kind of deal are you talking about? Ben puffed out his chest. Dude, you're a junior, right? After graduation, I can hook you up at Sterling Corporation. He held up 7 fingers. Starting salary of that. That's it? I laughed. You've got nothing to offer right now, huh? Just trying to get by on promises? Ben didn't back down. Man, think big picture. Don't get hung up on small potatoes, bro. His pompous attitude was getting on my nerves. I looked him up and down, then said, I don't buy your billionaire's son act. I saw his eyes dart to the side, then back to me. Come to the mansion this weekend, you'll see. Just because you have a mansion doesn't prove you're Robert Sterling's kid. I sneered. It's probably rented. I walked over and messed with his hair. You just got that perm, didn't you? Looks pretty slick, but your hair is super thin. Don't you take care of it? I grabbed his hand. Whoa, check out all those rings, but your palms are super calloused, like a construction worker. Does the billionaire's son do hard labor in his free time? I then tugged at his clothes. Oh, and all the designer stuff, very coordinated. Still, something's off. Did you steal these? Ben's bravado was gone. He freaked, yelled, "You're a nut job," and took off. He was probably actually a thief. Sarah didn't come from money, and when we first met she was shy and insecure. I helped her get better food, brought her into my circle. Even her clothes and accessories were my picks. Watching her transform into a confident young woman, it gave me a weird sense of pride. I was confident that Sarah was only into me. This fake Ben, with his lies and short stature. Even if he was the real deal, I knew Sarah would choose me. I didn't pay Ben any mind. That was until the video of me and Ben talking in the cafeteria went viral. Golden Boy versus Trust Fund Baby. Who wins the girl? It was trending and the votes were racking up. And the worst part? People were voting for Ben. I scrolled through the comments, go with the money. You're set for life. Talent gets you nowhere. People were ruthless. Did everyone really care more about money? I kept scrolling. Then I saw it. Someone was actually saying. ID, Wanderer, by Ben's age and when the wife of Robert Sterling was pregnant, the timeline doesn't match. Her schedule was busy, with a lot of photos, which show she wasn't pregnant. Attach. Sterling wife's photo. Finally, someone with a brain. I gave a like. I didn't care about random people on the internet, so I went to find Sarah at student council. There I found Ben, harassing her. I was furious. Using my name and messing with my girl? Ben was asking for trouble. Yo, fake billionaire, you a thief and a creep now? Ben's already shaky confidence plummeted when I said fake billionaire. Who's fake, Jake? Ben yelled. I scoffed. Seriously? Is that really a question? Shorty, who do you think you're kidding? I thought Sarah would be on my side, but I was wrong. Sarah stepped in front of Ben. Jake, stop it. Ben's not like that. Seriously? Last night, she said she doesn't know him. Now it's Ben's not like that? Not like what? What's going on here? I demanded, looking straight into her eyes. I'm pretty chill, but I'm a stickler for loyalty. You mess with me, I'm done. She tried to drag me away. Let's go back to my dorm, I'll explain it then. I shook her off and pointed at Ben. No, explain it right here. Now's as good a time as any. She hesitated. Ben smiled like a Cheshire cat and grabbed her hand. Looks like Sarah wants a chance to see if she could go out with me, bro. Sarah looked like she wanted to disappear, but she didn't let go of Ben's hand. On her wrist, she was still wearing the watch I bought her, an expensive gift from overseas. My brain was short-circuiting. It wasn't that I was obsessed with Sarah, but it was the betrayal and the audacity. She traded me for this wannabe? And she hadn't even cashed in Ben's promises. If she only looked at the value of the stuff I've bought her, she wouldn't have dumped me. I walked out. I knew it was over with Sarah. Sarah tried to follow and explain herself. Jake, listen. Ben asked me if he could ask me out. What was I supposed to say? I just told him he's free to do whatever he wants. I swear, I'm not into him. Please don't be mad. She was hanging on my arm all the way from the administration building. Get off me. I was getting annoyed. This girl thinks I'm an idiot? I didn't want to waste words, but she was hugging me, trying to kiss me. I tried pushing her off, but she pulled me close to her waist. Suddenly, someone stepped in front of us, grabbed Sarah's wrist, and pushed her away. Ouch! Who do you think you are? Sarah yelled. The girl looked at me. You okay, Jake? I looked at her. She had long, clean hair and sharp features. She looked familiar. She was the one who defended me on the school forum. Wanderer. She was surprised that I knew her name. Then she nodded and looked at Sarah with disgust. What do we do with her? I glared at Sarah. Sarah begged me. Jake, trust me. I'll explain everything. It was a misunderstanding. Please, make her leave. I was disgusted. This two-faced woman thought I was a fool. I took out my phone and started recording. Sarah, we've been together 2 years. I care about you, so say exactly what you just said. Say that Ben was the one who harassed you and you have no feelings for him, you would never go out with him. If you say that, I'll forgive you. Can you say that, Sarah? I held my phone to her face. Her face turned from red to blue. She thought I was an idiot, but I knew her well. She was all made up, her hair was ruined, and she was now a hot mess. If she said what I wanted her to say, that would ruin her image. She would never get the chance to go out with a millionaire. Jake. Nothing to say. Sarah turned away. We're done. I was expecting that answer. I switched off the recording. Get lost, I told her. Sarah just ran away. I wasn't as calm as I looked. I wanted to expose myself and yell, "You're an idiot. I'm the real deal. You were so close, but now you're never getting it." But I didn't. I can't ruin my cool guy image. It was a blessing in disguise. This way I know Sarah's a jerk. I turned to thank Wanderer, but there was some sand in my eye. You're better than her. Wanderer said softly. She'll regret losing you. I thought this girl was pretty tough. She can be sweet as well. Got it, I said. The next day, Sarah and Ben were officially an item. I met them at the entrance of the arts building. Sarah didn't care about other people staring, and she was holding on to Ben's arm. Ben smiled victoriously. Jake, fancy seeing you here. I laughed. A liar and a cheater, how cute. Every time I called him out, he got so mad. I wanted to see him suffer. Hey, fake billionaire, you ruined my relationship, was it worth it? Ben glanced at Sarah's watch and smirked. You don't know what's good. I do. I see her true value. Great. I wanted to see him fail. Well, I'll be there this weekend, when you show off your mansion. Ben was about to throw down some more words, but suddenly, someone grabbed my arm. A soft body hugged me, and then pulled me away. I looked to my side. It was Wanderer. What are you doing here? She winked. I was nearby and I didn't want you to look like a loser. Ah, she was saving my image. I nodded. Thanks. She pulled me towards the building, and we walked through the crowd. Today was the art club meeting. It was packed. I was here to announce a big opportunity. Sterling Corporation's new art compound, called Art District, wanted to invite 50 art students to have a month-long workshop. The Art District was something I worked on 2 years ago. When I became president of the art club, I was so happy that I called my dad. That same afternoon, the school received a massive donation, and it was to be used for the art program. My dad wanted to fly over and give me an award, but I stopped him. He later bought a piece of land in the south side of the city and turned it into an artsy district with over 2,000 businesses and tons of designers. I didn't want people to know about me, so my dad pretended to sign a deal with the school, with the excuse of helping the school and the community. But we all knew that the opportunity was given by me, and the school had no say in who gets in. I gathered the members and called out names. Lisa, David, Mary, and the other 47 people. You need to gather at the school entrance tomorrow by 10 a.m., where the bus will take you to the art district for a month. They cheered. This opportunity was amazing, it would be great for their resumes. I was about to say more when Ben's sidekick, Kevin, interrupted. Jake, you're unfair. You only picked the people you like. That wasn't fair. First of all, I can't be a bad president. If I wasn't fair, no one would listen to me. Second, I don't want to lose face. It's my company, I don't need to pick my friends who have no talent. Other people from the club agreed with me. What do you mean he's not fair? He picked the best people. The majority of them are also seniors who are looking for internships. If you don't know the rules, just keep quiet. Kevin backed off and pushed Ben to the front. Dude, it's not fair, he's doing whatever he wants. Ben was looking for some trouble. He stood up and said, Kevin's right, you can't have all the power. We should pick people again. I ignored him. Art District is owned by Sterling Corporation, a company managed by the CEO, so he has the final say. Ben quickly realized he couldn't say anything. Well, my dad is in charge. I don't get involved. Come on, it's only an internship. Does it really count as interference? I sneered. Anyone who wants to be involved, please go ask Ben. Ben's sidekicks looked at him with shining eyes. I smiled, this was his own fault. I then went through the rules, activities, and then told everyone to go home. Later, Wanderer asked me to have dinner. I had a feeling that she was into me. I was hungry, so I accepted, and we went to the sushi place near campus. I waited for her to confess, but she kept talking about random things. Do you like me? I asked. Her face froze. Then she nodded. I have for 2 years. I was surprised. Why did you never tell me? She looked down. When I was going to, you were already with Sarah. Oh, I felt bad for her. But I didn't want a new relationship, since I just broke up with Sarah. I was about to reject her when she looked up. Don't reject me. Listen to me first. She looked me straight in the eyes. I'm a year younger, I'm a sophomore in business. My family has some money, and my parents are very kind. I know how I feel, and I won't be leaving anytime soon. I've liked you for 2 years, and I know I'll like you for the rest of my life. I didn't know what to say. I was really touched. I think there's something about being heartbroken that makes you crave for kindness. I'm sorry. I couldn't finish my words. She stopped me. Don't make a decision, just try being with me, please. She looked so cute. I felt happy being with her. Okay, I smiled. I hope you treat me well then, girlfriend. I was in my dorm when my dad called. Blind date? I was shocked. Who with? My dad coughed. It's Mary's daughter. You used to call her Moon as a kid, right? You two were very close as kids. Why do I need a blind date? I didn't get it. Did our company go bankrupt? That was the only answer I can think of. No, he explained. Your grandpa made a marriage deal with Mary's grandpa when you two were kids. Oh God. That's way too old-fashioned. I don't agree. Don't agree, my dad said. You just need to meet her. After that, I will say that you didn't like her. I didn't agree, but I had to go. But I had a plan. The next day, I wore a fake wig, with my worst clothes, and went to the place my parents picked. I was 30 minutes late and the girl was later than I was. I saw some punk rock girl walk towards me. Oh no. Little Rock? I was so embarrassed. Moon. Did she like my outfit? She took off her wig and sunglasses. Oh man, I know her. It was Wanderer. Later at a cafe, I heard the story. Wanderer is the daughter of my dad's friend. She told her mom that she was going out with a guy. Her mom was so happy, she believed in her daughter. But she remembered the marriage deal that her father made with my grandpa. Later, her family moved to the other side of the country. Though no one was serious about the deal, she wanted to honor it. So she told her daughter that they should have one meeting, and if they didn't like each other then that was the end. She learned that we were in the same city, so that was how it happened. I was laughing. Wanderer looked so happy. She said that fate brought us together. Suddenly, my phone rang. It was David from the product design department. What's up? David talked very fast. Dude, we got to the art district, and they have a list of 50 names, but the people are different. Some people were replaced. They put Ben's friends' names in. Ben has changed the names. I remembered yesterday, when I was talking about the internship, Sarah and Ben were near my desk. They were the ones who did it. They changed it, even with security cameras? I think I understood Ben's logic. He thinks that the school picks the students, and it only had to do with the names, and that the students would be mad at the art district, and they wouldn't make a fuss about it. He was betting that he would win. But he would fail. I called the manager of the art district, and then hung up. 2 hours later, Ben's sidekick was sent home. They were sent back by the dean, and the HR manager, John. He told the dean what Ben and his friends did. They all confessed that Ben forced them. When I got to the office, I heard Kevin crying. John, we didn't change the name. Ben told us we could go with him. Then Kevin said, Ben Sterling is the son of the CEO of Sterling Corporation. John knew me, so I glared at him to shut up. I wanted to see what Ben would do when he got to my mansion. John said, I don't know this Ben Sterling, but the people who do wrong should be punished. The dean agreed and sent John away. They later checked the security cameras, and Sarah was the one who made the changes. The next day, Sarah was punished and fired from the school. As for Ben, he wasn't punished, but people were talking about the fake billionaire. He didn't go out, but he didn't agree that he was a fraud. He said that this weekend, he would take his friends to his mansion. And that was how they would know that he was real. Sarah was defending him and said that everything was her fault. People were disgusted at Sarah. She kept herself in the dorm and hoped that Ben would be sad. But her dream was about to be ruined. The weekend came. People were very excited to see Ben's mansion. Ben was also very excited. He brought all his friends to the mansion. This is the mansion my dad bought for me. Ben pointed at the mansion with pride. People who didn't believe him were surprised. Wow! That's the CEO's style. Sarah was with Ben, and she looked happy. I was with Wanderer, waiting for the show. I pointed to Ben. He's the only one registered in the system. Let's see how he opens the door. They all waited. Ben approached the door and pressed the doorbell. The doorbell? There was someone in the mansion? Who was in the mansion? My mind was blown. Then a 50-year-old woman in a uniform opened the door. Now, Wanderer was confused. I called my dad. Dad, do you have a maid at my place? My dad looked confused. Yes, she's to check the house. She's around 50. Her name is Susan, and the secretary picked her because her son is in your school. Her son? Oh, I know. Ben was the son of the maid. Fire her. And I'm also reporting her for trespassing. The cops came while the party was getting started. Hands in the air. You're all trespassing. A couple of cops and 10 security guards surrounded the people. The college students were scared. When they heard what happened, the lead cop went to Ben. "You said that you own this mansion?" Ben didn't say anything. He turned to his mom. "Don't look at her," the police said. "We called the real owner of the house, and he said you're not the owner. You better tell us now, or we'll take you to the station." Susan started to cry. "I'm the maid here. Ben's my son, and he said he wanted to have a party. I agreed since it's usually empty. It's all my fault. Please don't arrest my son." Oh, people were surprised. Ben is the son of a maid. And he said that he was a CEO's kid? He's so shameless. Everyone was saying nasty things to him, and Ben was shaking. Then he fainted. Sarah looked like she had seen a ghost. The party ended and everyone was sent home, besides the few who needed to go to the police station. Ben used his mom's job to steal and lie. That night, everyone was talking about it. The school gave Ben a warning. But he would be punished more. My dad has a collection of clothes and other designer accessories, which were all in the mansion. Ben used that to pretend to be rich. I called the secretary and she gave me the receipts. I sued Ben. Ben had to pay a massive fine, and if he couldn't, he had to go to jail. Later, I received a video from Sarah. She wanted to meet me. Sarah in the video was very pale, and she was holding a knife and put it to her wrist. She said, "Jake, you're the only person I love. I only want to see you. If you don't meet me, I will slit my wrist. I'm at the Grand Hotel Room 302. I sent that message to Ben. I have no more patience with her. Since I sent Sarah to Ben, it has been around 2 weeks. The secretary told me that Ben has already paid the debt. I thought everything was over. Ben paid with Sarah's money. Sarah didn't know how valuable my gifts were, but Ben knew exactly. But she got what she deserved. I was busy with Wanderer. We were doing very well. Both parents loved us, and we also loved each other more each day. We had the same financial status, same values, and we never felt bored. I think Ben was sent by God to help me, by using his mirror to show who Sarah really was. He also helped me get Wanderer. He was my savior. I didn't think about Sarah or Ben. Until the school had another big news. Sarah was arrested for attempted murder. I was having dinner with Wanderer when the police sirens and ambulance sirens started going towards the lake. Later we found out that Sarah was trying to kill Ben. She was stopped by another student. Ben was stabbed on his arm and was taken to the hospital. And Sarah was arrested. I later heard the full story. That day, Ben went to the hotel room and saw Sarah. He wanted Sarah to help him pay his debts. Sarah didn't agree. He then knocked her out, stole her watch, and took pictures of her naked. He was going to use them to blackmail her. After selling the watch, he was out of money again. He didn't want to go to school. His mom kicked him out and he didn't have any money to stay in a hotel. So, he was using the photos to threaten Sarah. Sarah didn't have any money. Ben didn't believe her. He asked her why she didn't want to give him money when the watch that she had was worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Sarah didn't know about the watch. She asked him where it was and realized it was the watch I gave her. She asked him to give her back the watch. That was my gift. Ben didn't believe her. He used the photos and threatened her on the school forum. That broke Sarah down. Sarah found Ben at the lake. She tried to stab him. Luckily, another student stopped her. It was a big deal. Sarah and Ben were both expelled and then sent to jail. Later, I visited Sarah in jail. She said that she was sorry and that she wanted to get back with me. She admitted that she wanted to sex with me in the hotel and secretly record it. And if I didn't get back with her, she was going to say that I forced myself on her. She then said that God was punishing her, and that was why she was drugged by Ben. Sarah then asked, Ben said that your gift was worth hundreds of thousands? Is that true? I nodded. The watch, your belt, the brooch, they're very expensive. After you get out you can sell them for money. Also, I should tell you this. I showed her the photo of my family. I'm the son of Robert Sterling, it's true. That day, when I asked you if you know the son of Robert Sterling, I was planning on telling you. I was going to take you home to meet my parents. But you betrayed me. But thank you, your leaving helped me get real love. I showed her my engagement ring. I'm very happy. Sarah cried and started cursing Ben. She was slapping herself and saying, I'm sorry. Please give me another chance. The guards then took her away. I looked at Sarah, and I didn't know if I felt relieved or pity. On the way home, I was thinking, I guess the distance between an amazing student and a prisoner is only a wall. Wanderer held my hand and said, you can be greedy, but not too greedy. If you can't control your desires, then it's going to hurt you. But don't worry, I'm only greedy for you. I felt warm. I grabbed her hand and kissed her forehead. Yeah, that's the way. Let's only be greedy for each other.